and gentlemen of internet world. How's everybody doing today? Hope life is treating you well. Hope you're having a beautiful weekend. We're going to do a 5 mile, maybe a 5.5 mile walk today. Just got done watching the Trump rally in Pennsylvania, which was nice. Trump's going up in the polls some more. Emerson poll came out today. I'm very happy about that. I think people are catching on to Kamala's BS. It's going to be nice to watch. And, you know, there's too many things with these people just being out of touch. You get this they've got this disastrous flooding in North Carolina from Hurricane Helena that is causing problems for a lot of people. Some people have died. Joe Biden's on vacation at the beach, and Kamala Harris is in California and San Francisco at a fundraiser. So that shows you the priorities. Not only is she at a fundraiser in California and San Francisco instead of going to North Carolina, she's at a fundraiser that is $250,000 a plate with the richest, most elitist people in California. Also, $100,000 per photograph taken with the vice president. So she'll pose for photographs for $100 grand. And that was a luncheon she was doing. Now she's vice president of the United States. Biden's at the beach while people are flooding and dying in North Carolina, a state that she is trying to snatch away from Donald Trump. So there you have that. How's that for a fine how do you do? I have to, I'm going to tie my left shoe a little better. Hi everybody. I stuck you down in the traffic cone right there so I could record myself. Pull my pants up here. Unfortunately, that's the side effect of losing weight from exercise. So, your clothes don't fit anymore. So anyway, there we go. How you doing, everyone? Hope you're enjoying walking with me today. We got some daylight left. I wanted to get out here a little bit sooner than I did, but I was watching the Trump rally from Pennsylvania. So I was going to do a woods walk today. Hello. And decided not to because of the time of day. We got a couple of hours of daylight left, if I'm lucky, because as I've stated, it's getting dark sooner and sooner. But we are going to have an election very soon, sooner for some than others. I'm going to be voting early, and I suggest people vote any way you can that you are comfortable with. You can wait till the day of the election if you want to, but to be honest with you, that is, hate to say it, but it's starting to be an outdated thing, and it does not help Republicans if you wait till the day of voting. How is that? Well, the problem is the Democrats like to play shenanigans on voting day, and they will deny that that's what they do, but we have seen them do that over and over again. Broken pipes in the middle of the night while they're counting ballots, to like in Arizona where they had voting machine problems and people weren't able to vote. Some were provided provisional ballots. Other poll workers didn't understand what to do if that happened. There was a lot of confusion, and a lot of people that were waiting in line 6 hours or so in Arizona decided to go home and come back and vote later. Some of them didn't come back and vote. They were elderly people with physical issues who were told by the Republican Party in Arizona to vote on election day, not to trust the mail-in ballots. So use your own best judgment. I opted to vote for absentee. Absentee is not the same as mail-in. Mail-in is basically where the state you live in just mails out ballots to people to make sure everybody can vote and it's fair, which I don't trust that. But the good news, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania both have to verify signatures, and they have to verify dates. So some of those changes were made from 2020. So according to that, the mail fraud should be kept to a lot less because of that. And like my state of Maine, they actually have, I can track my ballot on the internet here. It's barcoded. Now, some people are like, well, you can't trust voting absentee. I don't know what state you live in, but it's safe in Maine. I don't believe there's any voter fraud going on in Maine beyond the normal shenanigans. Right? So I don't know what's up with that. So we'll cut across. Thank you. So that was somebody that missed their turn, and they were slowing down. I didn't know what they wanted, so I was head on a swivel and prepared for anything. Let's just put it that way. Thankfully, that was just somebody missing their turn. So, with that, we're going to continue on with our walk. So like I said, we were going to go for a woods walk today. I changed my mind because it's later. When it gets later and the sun starts going down and you are underneath the tree canopy, it is a different kind of filming experience where the light detection doesn't work as well. And so we'll save that for another day. I hope you don't mind me walking on the streets. Look at this crazy buggy. Look at that. Haven't seen one of those in a long time. An old Toyota bus. Not like the 60s ones. So I'm going to go out for my 5.5 to 6 mile walk. Hope you don't mind going with me. So anyway, back to the absentee ballots. In Maine, you request an absentee through the .gov website. Then your city clerk that you are registered with in your township verifies that you're somebody that should get one. Not based on ID, but based with your voter registration at City Hall, and must be backed up with a mailing address as well as proof of utility bill, like an electricity bill or some sort of bill you get. And that's what you need to register to vote in Maine. Can illegals register and vote in Maine? I don't know. I don't think so. Not like some people online like to say that cheating like that happens. But Maine has gotten a lot of illegals since Biden was elected. And to be honest with you, Biden is going to win. Harris, I should say. Biden-Harris, Harris-Biden. The Democrat is going to win Maine anyway. And the reason why I say that is Harris has about a 9-point lead statewide. And even if that's not accurate, she should still win. So, but I'm in ME2, and she's not going to win ME2. Sure of that. There we go. My pole was too short. So, she's not going to win ME2. Trump has won that twice already. He'll win it again. And we may even see Congressman Jared Golden lose his seat as a blue dog Democrat, which means a non-far left Democrat. But he's been supporting too much Democrat stuff that is far left. And he's losing in the polls. Which I have to be honest with you, I didn't expect that, because Austin Terrio is a newcomer to the congressional race. He's kind of a newcomer to the state representative also position. So he's kind of new to the state legislature. What he really has going for him is being endorsed by Trump. So we'll see how that pans out. So far it's panning out very well. He's leading Jared Golden, Jared Golden has a lot more money behind him, a lot more advertising, a lot more media-friendly help and support. So, very interesting, isn't it? That despite all that, he's still behind. And I can probably tell you two reasons why. One is his support for immigrants and immigration, while trying to say Biden needs to close the border. He did not vote. He did not vote accordingly. And also, the second reason is gun control. He did not vote to. I'm gonna fix my. There we go. I had to fix my selfie stick. So he did not vote to support gun control like he promised he would. And that person here that I told you didn't have a Trump sign out, after having one out, has it back out. And I was correct. That was while he was promoting a local hockey event. So he has the sign back out, so that's good. So anyway, Kamala Harris wants to take guns, and she's trying to make it look like she doesn't. And Jared Golden is the only Democrat in Congress that voted against all gun control bills, who openly stated after the mass shooting we had here that he was going to support banning assault-style rifles for the first time. And he got a lot of backlash for that. And then shortly after changed his mind, flip-flopped into saying, I'm going to support banning them, but people can have them if they want a tax stamp, which means registering with the government, which means a gun registry, which is a legal way for the government to have a gun registry by forcing you to get a gun stamp, a tax stamp, which we don't know what that would cost. We don't know how many people would be approved or denied, what the criteria would be for that. And he was kind enough not to elaborate on that, and now he's down in the polls. And he shouldn't have said that at all. And I actually called his office when he said that and said, you just lost your election. You should have known better. This is Maine, okay? It's not Massachusetts or Connecticut. We don't like that stuff, and he should have known that. And he does know that, but he just thought it was politically advantageous at the moment to say something like that after he received money from the Soros family, which he did. Pretty sure he was falling short on his fundraising at the end of 2023. So at the end of 2023, he announced that he was going to support banning assault rifles after receiving money, as reported by the Maine Wire, independent news agency. So now over here, we get some free bicycles. Free bicycles. Let's get a shot of that. Free for the taking. I prefer to walk, and I also have a bicycle that has a lot of dust on it because I never use it. But if you need a bicycle, head on down to this way and pick it up. So those free bicycles are located on East Avenue, up by Montello Street, just past Montello School. See that? So if you want to come down, get yourself a free bicycle, they're right there. So anyway, Jared Golden has decided to ban firearms for everybody, which it was also pointed out, because he's former military and licensed to do so, he would not have to register his own because he's special. So let's not vote for Jared Golden, the Democrat. We'll vote for Austin Theriault. Or if you're English, it looks like Theriault on the signs. We'll vote for Austin Theriault for Congress and circumvent the Democrat issues and problems altogether. Sound like a plan? All right, we'll do that. As soon as I get my ballot. It says the week of October 7th, they will be mailed out here in Maine per law, 30 days before the election. So when we do, I will be voting for Jared Golden. Against Jared Golden, I mean. Be voting for Austin Theriault. So I think right now, pretty much most people, except for a certain amount of independents who have not decided who they're voting for, is pretty much locked in at this point. Trump seems to be gaining among those, and he is leading in the polls. So we gotta vote. We gotta vote these guys out. Right here. So we gotta vote these people out. Vote out Harris Walls. Now I don't know if you caught some of the video from this weekend of Trump at the Alabama versus Texas championship game. But Trump was very welcomed, which was good. I'm going to vote for Trump. I think most places on people's houses that have a USA flag, for the most part, are definitely patriotic Americans that are going to be voting Trump. At least mailboxes like this one. So look both ways before crossing the street. It's the time of year I always get these little gnats underneath my ball cap bugging me, because that's what gnats do. They're bugs, and they bug people. So, I guess what I'm getting at is, according to polling I've seen, that unless there's an act of God on Kamala's behalf, Trump should win. Now, there's a pretty good chance on election night we're not going to know who won because of ridiculous state rules that Republicans wanted to change in Pennsylvania and Democrats didn't. So, hi. She's a Trump voter, so am I. So we're going to have to go through hell in this election. Now, a lot of people think that the steal is on in Pennsylvania, but the reason why I say that may not be necessary is if Trump clearly wins Wisconsin, which he may, or if he wins Michigan, which is looking like he has a good chance to win in Michigan, that Pennsylvania may not even matter. Wouldn't that be just desserts? Trump wins the election while they're still counting their fake ballots in Pennsylvania. That would be really nice. So we need the too big to rig mentality, which is what Trump was talking about in the election. Too big to rig means exactly the reasoning I just gave. We need to make it, the election be over on election night, even if they're still counting ballots in other states. So, Michigan, in 2020, Trump was leading that on election night, and then by the end of the next day, he was not. And the same thing happened in Pennsylvania. And they got a ballot drop in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the middle of the night, around 4 a.m., where they truckloaded ballots, pretty much all in favor of Biden, where many of those had just Biden chosen, no down ticket votes. Like they made those up in the middle of the night, which I believe they did. So supposedly there are safeguards in place now, legislatively and legally, through lawsuits that were filed. The GOP, I can tell you right now, does have a whole crap load of lawyers ready to go. And that's about all you can do. So, I don't know what we're going to see on election night, but I'll be watching. Hopefully, it will be over on election night. Legally, legitimately, We don't have pandemic emergency voting, which is what they did the last time. So you still have a Secretary of State in Pennsylvania who does not want Trump to win. And I have a feeling they will try to cheat. But there's a lot of things that are in our favor that the media does not talk about. Like 400,000 new Republican voters in Pennsylvania. Very important. Very important. We have outperformed the Democrats. The other interesting stat nationally is the Democrats are losing support. They're losing their voter base. So, very important. Republicans are not going to win California, but thousands and thousands and thousands of new Republican voters in California are starting to change the balance of voters. And that should be taken seriously. And same thing in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. There is a ton of new Republican voters. We have outperformed, outworked the Democrats in these states. And we're going to see on election night how that pays off, because 400,000 new Republican voters in Pennsylvania is almost 500,000 new voters, okay? And this very well may be over on election night. So it may come down to somebody on CNN saying, you know, I don't see a path for Kamala to win this state, even with the absentee ballots not counted yet. So hang on, folks. It's going to be interesting. There's absolutely no way to poll for that, I guess is my point. They do not have a poll for that. They don't have a poll for disgruntled independents to the degree that people would like to see, to be sure. So we are definitely going to have to wait and watch, see what happens. And it is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a huge nail biter, but Trump is going to win this election. And from what I see, that's what it looks like to me. The other amazing statistic is that young people traditionally don't show up and vote by a margin of about 50% of the young vote. CNN just did a short piece on that, imploring young people to vote because traditionally they don't. In this election year, this year, they made a bigger fuss about it in 2020 because it was a pandemic year. And people were at home with nothing to do. Kids weren't in school. In a lot of these states that are swing states, which is why these swing states did all of these lockdowns, where other states that were not swing states did not. So you had Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia. Now Georgia is a Republican state, but they sent out emergency ballots for the pandemic. So those are not going to be done this year in Georgia. Very important to make notes of this stuff. Kamala's message is not a good one. She's fake, phony, and plastic. And I think the majority of voters are going to figure that out and vote accordingly. It comes down at the end of the day, you still have to trust voters with common sense. And I think we will see good things. You're always going to have that percentage of the voter base that are morons and idiots, and they will vote moron and idiot. But keep the faith, folks. We're not dead yet. We got a Trump sign across the street, which is nice. We're going to be walking through Liberal Alley up ahead, as I like to call it. Now, my walk in the countryside the other day, we had a lot of Republican signage out. Still seeing a lot of people not putting their Trump signs out, because in 2020 there was a whole stretch for miles where every other house or every other 5 or 6 houses there was a Trump sign on the lawn, and all of those signs were stolen. 2 weeks before the election, we drove through there and all the signs were gone. So that's what happened. It also made the news that there was a lot of people stealing signs. A couple of them got prosecuted, but I'm sure most of them did not. So, I have a Trump flag outside my house. I hope it stays there. We shall see, won't we? So anyway, we have a USA flag across the street there. Chances are you will see them vote for Trump. These liberal voters, for the most part, do not have American flags flying outside their house, but they'll have a Democrat election sign. So, just something I've noticed. There's a little fat squirrel. Oh, it looks like you got nice and fat, didn't you? Hi, babies. Hi. So we got a squirrel right here, and we got one up in the tree. You're gonna check me out? You're gonna say hi to people? There he is, right there on that branch. Eating a nut, where he knows I'm not gonna be able to hurt him. Not that I would anyway. So, we had a friendly visit with a squirrel. Hope you enjoyed that. So anyway, hope you're enjoying a beautiful weekend. It's a beautiful Sunday today. It really is. Hope everybody's happy. Hope you're going to enjoy the election coming up, which it will come up sooner than later. We're almost into October now. We're going to have the Halloween season, and then less than a week after Halloween, it'll be time to vote. And I hope you do. You got to get out the vote. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot in my videos. It's important. Even if just one person who wasn't going to vote, I convinced them they can vote and should vote. That'll be a win. So we have to use the means at our disposal to reach people. And you know, I want to talk about a restaurant in Pennsylvania that J.D. Vance, the candidate, vice presidential candidate for the Republican Party, and Donald Trump, we pass another Harris sign, which we got those across the street too. Those have been, in 2020, these same lawns had Biden signs. So they're riding with Biden and they're going to vote for Harris. There's another one over here. And we got another one up ahead here on the left. They voted for Biden also. I remember. So, Here's the Harris walls. She's got a gaggle of dogs that don't like me. Maybe they know I'm voting for Trump. But we're going to have an election coming up. That's very important. We need to get the word out to everybody. Got to get the word out. So come around the corner here. The corner. We have our Halloween decorations starting to show up. Last year they had cobwebs all over these trees. Now we got spooks. We got some homemade spooks. Booga booga booga. Isn't that cool? You got spooks all over the place. You got cobwebs on their fence. People are getting in the mood for spooks. Just at 2.5 miles. Looks like we got another Harris sign up ahead. Another lawn that had a Biden sign, 2020. I guess some people are just hopeless. Biden didn't even come close to winning this district. So it's kind of funny, isn't it? You know, it's this district that Trump won both times. He'll win it a third, but you still have mostly what you can see with your eyeballs is Harris signs. And that's just how it is now. If you put a Trump sign out there, somebody's going to steal it or vandalize it or yell at you for having it. I got called an effing racist already by one car going by while I was outside. And my brother ended up having the same thing happen to him for his flag. So the people that promote democracy and scream about it all the time are the ones that want to censor people, and they want to take their signs. So trust what you see with your own eyeballs, folks. Democrat liberals are not nice people. They're just not. I'm sure there's a bunch of nice ones, but they don't have all the information, and I don't think they're going to get it if they keep going back to the same news sources they've been watching for 30 years. So now over here at this nursing home, they have a sign out there, now hiring RNs, LPNs, and CNAs. And they still have a healthcare crisis in Maine, and a shortage because of that time that the governor forced people to get vaccinated or they lose their job. There was no middle ground on that, and they probably still have some sort of vaccination policy in place, and people just aren't going to do it. Some more doggy friends across the street barking at me. So we'll continue on down the road here. The other thing I did today is I'm wearing my hiking shoes instead of my walking shoes, which hiking shoes are walking shoes, but it's a lot different when you're walking through woods, and I wish I had my street shoes on. But we'll walk on down the road here. Anyways. So according to the leaf peeping chart that I saw recently, we currently are in the moderate phase with peak foliage coming up in the next couple weeks. Oh yeah. So we will see what's going on in a couple weeks. As far as the leaves go, the leaves. Tree here is looking nice. Looks better in bright sunlight. Missed most of my afternoon watching Trump, but it's that time of year. And here's the thing, you know, we're not going to see very much in the way of rallies after October 5th, regardless. So, November 5th, I mean. So this is definitely going to be the last election season for Donald Trump. And we need to win. We need to win. We need to win. That's going to be a big thing for Trump, as he was president before and the economy was good. People could afford to buy things. And he will do that again. So all we can do is go vote. That's all we can do. And we will. I think we'll have a good turnout for Republican voters. So it was really funny. I saw a video clip online today of Jeff Flake, former senator from Arizona, bad-mouthing Trump today, saying he was voting for Kamala. So the Kamala campaign is shopping everybody that hated Trump that is a Republican, and they're all the same people that really aren't Republicans. Mitt Romney, Jeff Flake, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, you know, Jeff Flake. Susan Collins has said she's not voting for Trump. She's not endorsing him. She didn't say how she was voting. She said she's not endorsing Trump. She's going to vote for Trump. She's not going to vote for Kamala. If she was, she would have said so. So you got a lot of these Republicans who want to go back to 1996. Things have changed. Mitch McConnell is going to be gone this year. He's retiring, so I'm getting rid of him. We're probably going to end up with John Cornyn, another rhino who's going to pretend he likes Trump, but he won't. So we shall see what we shall see. Very important time right now for the Republican Party to unite. And they're trying their best to give us disunity. But I think we'll be fine. And what they haven't figured out yet, and they're not going to see it until after Trump's gone, is that the MAGA or MEGA voter is the new Republican Party and still be around long after Trump is gone. They're attributing it to this as a Trump problem, and they don't seem to understand that the people want the Republican Party to change, and they're going to have to listen. Now, Ron DeSantis, I'm fully confident, is going to be the next big presidential candidate in 2028. You're going to have Vivek Ramaswamy in the mix there. And RFK is going to be in that picture somewhere. Don't know if he'll run as a Republican. He'd be better off, I think, But we'll see. RFK, a couple of his policies are not very Republican, so that would be up to him to figure that out. But if Trump wins, he's definitely going to be in the White House doing big things. And by 2028, I'm sure he will have succeeded in doing a lot of things. So things may change between now and 2028 with regard to RFK Jr. This tree here is turning a little bit more, but it's not like I was saying. It's going to be really, really bright leaves soon, between now and October 12th, I think. So that dog was sitting there, not chained up, which I think the owner knew that was a good-natured dog and wouldn't attack somebody, which it didn't, thankfully. Your video host is very grateful that I didn't have to fight off a dog on camera, untethered. So we'll head on up this way. And instead of going left up ahead, we'll go right. So anyway, hope you're enjoying the walk today. I do enjoy going on these walks. We're at 3.5 miles. Very quiet car coming up behind, probably electric. Yep. It's a Toyota Prius. Prius or Prius? I am sweating. We don't have very much daylight left. Getting a little cool right now. There's a breeze. Did hit 70 degrees today though. That was nice. So anyway, I'll flip this around. So last night's walk was kind of funny with all those college kids running around. And again, they're not kids, they're college students, but when you're 56 and somebody's 18, 19, and 20, they're kids. A squirrel going across the road. past the Corvette that never goes anywhere. Cross over here. Dog barking at me somewhere. All right. Sorry about that. The technical difficulties. I'll go up this way. See the sun's going down. Should have enough daylight to finish my walk. Somebody on a bike with a reflective vest. I'll give them some room. Now, I'm not going to advocate for not wearing a helmet on a bike. I've done a lot of bike riding in my day, my whole life, many miles. For a long time I was bicycling instead of walking. I've never had a bike accident where a helmet would be required. So if I rode a bike today, I still would not be wearing a helmet. So again, that's just my opinion. I am not advocating for not wearing a helmet. I'm just telling you that I would not wear one. And if I rode a motorcycle, I would not want to wear a helmet either, which could be very dangerous. I understand. Main law, it's optional. You don't have to wear one. But basically, because I don't like to wear a helmet, I would not ride a motorcycle to begin with. Because I do believe riding a motorcycle is dangerous. And not because of the person riding it, because of the other people in cars that don't care or pay attention. There's enough people not paying attention making driving a car dangerous. So why would I want to get on a motorcycle? Even with a helmet, I would not be safe on a motorcycle. We just hit the 4-mile mark, where if you're familiar with my walks, this is usually a 3-mile marker up ahead. So I'm taking the long route today, which I am prone to do from time to time. I'll swap out the battery when this one dies. They did a really good job on these light poles that they put up here. Get that one over here. So a lot of people running, as you can see. It's really nice. I'm glad they kept the running track here, because for a while I was not sure if they were going to keep that, because it looked like they were going to be putting in like a soccer field or something, which I think they did, because there's a big giant soccer goal there. But they also left the running track that goes around, which is good. So that's nice. The last time I went on that running track over here, you could tell that they used that kind of like recycled rubber compound for the track, which is really good because it feels kind of spongy when you walk on it, but solid enough to run where it's not too spongy. If that makes sense. So right now, given what we know about the election coming up, it does not feel, how you would say, weird. Not in a sense like, oh no, the worst is going to happen. It doesn't feel like that to me. I hope I'm not wrong with that. I really do, because that's going to be very painful on election night. But I don't want to see news companies calling the race early in certain states. They always go by the AP, the Associated Press. And I really hate that. And I hope Fox News has learned their lesson not to do that. Hi, buddy. See a little squirrel? Hi. He's gonna sit there and eat a nut. Don't worry, little buddy. I'm not gonna do anything to you. So the little squirrel took off. is we got a Chucky on the lawn over there. Remember Chucky from Child's Play? Right there. Halloween. So if you see a Chucky on your lawn holding a pumpkin, run for your life, because he's bad news. Chucky is bad news. So we'll cut down through the ambulance parking lot. Over here, United Ambulance Service, where they work on their ambulances. So we'll walk down this way. It'd be nice to get my 6-mile walk in today, which we're definitely going to get today. 6 point something. So the other thing I wanted to mention is on your flat screen TV set, as it were, your flat screen TV. Now, we don't have cable. We can afford cable. We just have not had cable for the longest time because cable sucks. There's never anything good on it. And you sit there drooling all over yourself, just mindlessly flipping through channels after eating a whole tray of brownies or something. Which can be a nice experience, don't get me wrong. But, let me flip this around. Don't like to watch a lot of just TV. Now, I have a smart TV in my bedroom. There's a smart TV downstairs. There's a smart TV in another room. And there's actually a lot of free channels on there to get news from, free weather, 24 hours. I think Fox has a channel. The AP has a channel. Reuters, I got Reuters. I got a channel out of New York. There's a Los Angeles one. So I get all the news I need. That is the filtered, awful news. And for local news, we have one of those digital antennas, and it actually works. If you find a spot in your house where it actually works the best from. But so we get the local news networks. For the local weather forecast, we have hurricanes coming, which sometimes we'll get a hurricane go into New Hampshire or threaten us in Maine. It's rare, but it does happen. And so that's always good. And so over here is where I showed you before, where we have the Trump sign over here. And we have the Harris sign across the street. It's like we got Trump, Harris. Trump, Harris. So then over here, I can see they added a Harris sign. And what's funny about it is this is the one on that piece of wood fencing or whatever it is. And of course they drive a Toyota electric car. And they have, please don't vote for Trump. Please don't vote Trump. You got Harris and Jared Golden, two people are gonna lose in November. And their sign, please don't vote for Trump. Please, I beg you. I beg of you. Don't destroy America and democracy by voting Trump. Aren't these people something? So anyway, we're gonna go across the road here. Hope you're enjoying your walk with me today. As we hit 4.5 miles, hour and 19 minutes, 4.5 miles. It's not bad. Not my best time, but it's all right. So we'll head on down this way. you're enjoying the view and the vista. Oh, we got a Harris sign. We still have the JFK sign down there. So down this road here, we got a new Harris sign on the left and the JFK sign. Hopefully the JFK one's going to be voting for Trump. They would be considered undecided independents. And I don't know how you poll for those. I really have no idea how you poll for people that you don't know how they're going to vote. This is definitely going to be an election that independents are going to decide. So that's really the big deal. That's why it was so important to have RFK endorse Trump. And I think the simple fact that he made it known that he'll be in the White House doing good things for the country, I think that's going to get a lot of RFK voters to vote for Trump. Because RFK will be given free reign to fix our food and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be very exciting. And I really like RFK. Now, a couple things about him I don't agree with. One of them was his viewpoints on firearms. He wants people to own firearms, but he wants AR rifles. He's kind of iffy on that. But it is a free country. So the hashtag you should be using on the internet, okay, is MAHA. Make America Healthy Again. That is an RFK hashtag, which is what he's going to do when he gets elected. He's going to fix the problem we have in this country with the food being poisoned with chemicals and garbage. And I've talked to you about this before in my walks. Wait for this motorcycle to go by. In that in Europe, if you look at something like Quaker, I'll give you something to do if you're bored. Look up Quaker instant oatmeal, strawberry, the strawberry one, just so you can do a compare. And look up the American Quaker instant oatmeal packets, the strawberry one for the United States market. Hi, baby. Hi. So the European one has real ingredients, real sugar for one thing. They don't use the fructose corn syrup. They don't use all these chemicals. They don't use artificial color, artificial flavor. So in the United States, you get chemicals in your food, and in Europe, you get real ingredients. So you look at the package for Europe, it'll have real sugar, it'll have real flavoring, real strawberries, and they don't use corn syrup, and it's much healthier for you. And it's really unfortunate that the FDA here in the United States, which is supposed to regulate that, allows companies to do this in mass production and save money. It doesn't cost them very much to use chemicals instead of real food, and it's not good for you. So the rest of Europe and the rest of the world understands that, and they don't allow their citizens to be poisoned. But we do. So hopefully RFK can fix all that, which I think he will. Might even take an act of Congress, which would be good. The Republicans can get a measurable leverage in the House, because we're at a point right now we're so divided where the Democrats will be anything against anything the Republicans want to do, even if it's good. So they don't want to give political wins, and if Trump wins, they don't want to see Trump up there taking credit for it, with RFK. And if Trump doesn't win and Kamala's in office, they don't want to be able to say, well, the Democrats gave the Republicans a win. Then they have to explain why Kamala Harris didn't sign it into law, which is what she would do. You would have hyper division worse than we have now. She has no interest in working in bipartisanship. None. She is somebody that's going to have political orgasms over being president and having the authority that she didn't have as senator, saying, nope, I'm going to veto that, we're not going to do it. And Joe Biden would look right at the press cameras this year, last year, the year before, and say, veto! I don't care what they do, I'm going to veto everything. Veto, veto, veto. Also, Kamala Harris is in favor of getting rid of the filibuster. Now, a lot of people I've been researching are actually in favor of that, including Republicans, which surprised me. But it stands to reason that makes sense, because that would allow the Senate to have a simple majority. And if we have a 50-50 Senate, that means the vice president would be able to sign whatever they want into law, which would be Vice President Tim Walz. That means they could pass gun legislation, they could pass all kinds of stuff. But inevitably, what always happens is the Republicans will get power. And then all of a sudden, the Democrats are going to cry about the filibuster. We need to have it back. So, because then the Republicans can go ahead and pass whatever the hell they want to easily. This year, you might see the Senate with a 53-seat advantage. So you might see the Republicans with an advantage in the Senate. And unfortunately, there's going to be about 5 of those that don't support Trump. But I think they will support legislation that is good for the United States, so Trump can sign it into law. So that'll be nice, interesting. So it's 10 minutes to 6. We're running out of daylight. Gone 5 miles, about another mile to go on camera, and then I'll have another mile to go past that where I stop recording. So today is going to be a good walk for sure. I'm going to get away from this traffic and hang a left, and not too far around the corner here the battery is going to peter out. So I may just go ahead and change it now, which I should, because I'm going to have to anyway. So I will be right back. Y'all come back now, you hear? All right, I'm back again. I'm back again like a bad headache. Ha! So anyway, hope you are enjoying life. If not, I'm sorry. Whew. Well, pretty soon the sun's going to be gone. So I'll be concluding this walk at just the right time, it looks like, which is nice. Well, I haven't seen the deer lately. Where are all the deer? And I did not see any deer last winter. So they don't hang around here in the wintertime. I got a feeling I know where they go. There are a couple of deer pantries in Maine where they feed the deer all winter. And I'm pretty sure that's where the deer go, because one of those pantries, one day, I literally counted over 60 deer on there. Now there's hundreds of deer in Maine, I get it. But the deer around here all disappear in the wintertime. I don't see them. See them all summer long. So I guess they're somewhat seasonal, I guess. I don't know the logic of deer. I do know that the whole of the forest right now is full of deer food that fell out of the trees. So they're probably just walking around eating, getting as fat as they can for winter. So, cut across the street here, I think. Cut across here. Still hear acorns falling in the woods. Walk through here. See how the woods look. The leaves are turning. Oh, just had a bug literally land right in my eye. Oh, isn't that wonderful? I'm getting blinded by a bug. One of those stupid gnats. Look at a sidewalk here that's gone. Get down on the road. Probably cross, so I have cars coming towards me. See how the colors in the trees are starting to pop out a little bit anyway. It never looks as good on here as it does in person, unfortunately. Oh, this is a pretty one. So imagine most of the trees inside Thorn Craig here looking like this. That's coming very soon up in there. So we will definitely be checking these out over the next couple weeks. I'll make sure that we do a woods walk through here, and also on those country roads that have gone on before. So we're getting closer. I'm getting closer. We will definitely be going on a nice woods walk pretty soon. There's a tree on the end of this street that I kind of use for a gauge. When this tree is bright red and on fire in the sunlight, the trees are pretty much at their peak. This is one of those trees at the end of this road that really shines and tells me when the fall foliage has peaked in its zenith. And then within a week and a half after that, the leaves are all falling off the trees and the fall foliage season is over. It's coming up soon. Now on the end of this street, you can see those trees right there, right at the very end of the T on this road. They're turning red. That tree is going to be all bright red like these bushes. So when those trees are bright red, that's going to be the zenith for the foliage season in the fall. My left eye is watering. A stupid bug landed in it. Probably underneath my eyelid now. I need to flush my eyes out with water. I got bug bombed. It's like it flew right into my eyeball and it got stuck to my eyeball. That's exactly what happened because my eyeball is wet. Just a little bug. So anyway, you can see how those two trees at the end of this road are in the sunlight. And this time of day when they are fully red, I mean, that tree looks like it's on fire. It's bright, very vibrant in color. So when it looks like that, we will be there. So with that, I think I'm going to end this walk here. We've got a 6-mile marker coming up ahead, and then I'm going to go another mile past that. So I just wanted to thank you for walking with me. Click like and subscribe. Share the content. And just get out there walking. You don't have to pick a certain distance, even if it's just a few blocks. Even if it's just 2 blocks, whatever your health allows. You need to get out and walk and stay in shape. And we'll see you the next time. And enjoy the week coming up. If you don't tune back into one of my walks, I hope you have a beautiful week. And we will see you on the next walk. Have a beautiful week, everybody. Bye-bye.